Hey, what is up everybody? Sierra here, back for another great video for you guys. Welcome to my channel, Red TV Plays, where I provide gaming from retro or modern gaming platforms. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Syphon Filter 2, which is the sequel to 1999's first Syphon Filter, which I have also featured in episode 6 of my Retro Classic series. So, welcome you guys to episode 7 of it. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about this game today because I want to talk about, first off, how good of a game this was. Because the sequel takes place hours after the first game. And this time, Gabe is back and he's actually better than ever. The cutscenes totally changed. Gabe's look has totally changed. And even though that not a lot of things have changed, but the characters, they brought new characters in. Elsa Wazinger to Jason Chance, who becomes Gabe's lieutenant in the CBDC. Lawrence Majari, and Lyle Stevens, who is, well, you know, the villain in this game too. So there's even Mara Aramov that returns as well. And I gotta say one thing, she's more ruthless than she ever was in this game. And compared to the first game, you know, her look totally changed as well. As a matter of fact, all the characters' looks has changed. And they no longer have blinking eyes, talking mouths, all that stuff. That's the one thing I didn't like about the change to this game was there used to be like cutscenes, you know, their mouth and their eyes would blink, but in this game it's just like plain old blah, you know. But other than that, the gameplay of this game is really good. Going through each level, from Colorado to New York and all that, it was just something special. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about in this game. I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Before we get started today's video, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos. So, guys, as I said, Gabe is back and he's better than ever. This time he has to prove to the world that he and Leon are not terrorists. After being framed, they have to stop the agency from releasing another version of the Syphonfilter virus. And sadly, it totally has changed. But you travel from Colorado to literally any place and shimmying across a bridge, you know, in the interstate level and jumping car to car on trains. I mean, there's just so many things that this game can do that actually proves that sequels are actually better, but then playing the original really makes more sense. But Alger Prison is in this level as well, and it's kind of deep about what Leon talks about, you know, with her, you know, she said that earlier in her life she got sent to that prison and stuff, so you'll hear all about it later in the game. But overall, it's, you know, it's quite different. New weapons, you're able to, like, totally get behind somebody and go at somebody's neck with a knife. One of the levels, you take a flamethrower, you blast these guys with a flamethrower. I mean, there's like a whole herd of enemies that comes right at you, and that's one of my favorite parts about the level anyway, is literally taking a flamethrower to the enemies and all that. And there's also a couple of like Easter eggs in this game as well. Like you can find later in the game, you can find Anton Gerdu's charred body. You can, you know, see a couple of like Easter eggs from like the first game. But it's still pretty good in my opinion because you can literally find it and everything. You find um, you can find a lot of things in this game that you know has some reflections to the first game. Now, as for the taser, guys, the taser from the first game, they totally overhauled it. This time, you can only knock people out with the taser. You can no longer burn people with the taser anymore, and I really did like that because I don't know, they took away something, that the original had, and they just made it into a twist. They just twisted it up and totally, changed it. The other good news is you also visit Farcom warehouses from the first game. This time, I don't. I know that you have to get to the China exhibit in this level and everything. So you got to crawl through vents and all that stuff to reach the area, and then Dylan Morgan has a bunch of bombs that you have to like disable, and then defend Teresa and all that stuff while she's defusing them. And then you come to a boss fight with him, and you have to kill him, just to enable the bomb and everything. But whatever you do, do not kill him with any type of explosives, or else he'll bomb the whole entire area and you're dead and all that stuff. Club 32 is where you play as Leon. You got to meet Yuri Gregorov, her friend there, and the sad part is he ends up being an imposter. The real Yuri Gregorov actually is he's actually in prison. He got captured, and you have to save him as well. But yeah, the game gets better the more deeper you get into the game. But yeah, there's a whole big thing of weapons that you can pick up. There's a tear gas grenade launcher that you pick up sometimes in the game. Not a whole lot, but you also pick up you pick up a spotter, a weapon called the spotter. You pick up another weapon called the H11, which is one of my favorite SMGs in this game because it really has power, and it's just an amazing weapon, to be honest. Apart from everything else, the gameplay is good, the story is good, and it is, it takes you from point A to point B. There's just so many, like, games you can just enjoy playing. Now, the other thing, too, I wanted to also mention is, like, if you're gonna you can also, like, play this in the store. Like, you can get it from the PlayStation store for like $10, or you can get it free if you got the PS Plus Premium. And there's also trophies of this game, and for all the games, it's rather easy. So, apart from everything else, Gabe, there's a lot with Gabe. There's a lot of betrayals. There's a lot of things happen in the game. You have to like sneak through agency labs, try to get vaccine for Leon. You're dressed up as a scientist. You have to like not be seen and all that. And eventually, later, you'll come to where you'll be able to get a knife, and you have to like really walk a lot just to get to the area that has it, and then you can knife the enemy down and all that stuff. I gotta say though, Agency Labs was absolutely a fun level, even though it's pretty long level, but it's still a good level overall. I mean, there's some things that you can and can't do, but you do discover that one of your CBDC agents is still alive, and his name is Ramirez. Jason Chance is also in the building as well, and he also got captured. So you'll find them both later in the level as well. And the other thing too is you gotta not be seen by cameras. If you get seen by cameras, mission failure. You get caught by enemies, mission failure. Use loud weapons, mission failure. I mean, you all get the point. But Gabe, he just you just make it through the level and everything. That's pretty much how you do it. But overall, it's a long level, but it's fun. And then you've got to make your way out to the streets afterwards, and you also have to avoid armored guys as well. And so it's fun. I mean, it's challenging, but it's fun. So yeah, when you make your way to Elsa Wazinger, then you get Leon's vaccine. Then afterwards, you literally like have to make your way to the streets, but then you discover a little Easter egg of Anton Gardu. So that's Anton Gardu right there. That's a little Easter egg, and then you just gotta make your way to this one area that has this vent, and this vent has like a fan that goes at least like 100 feet down, and then you gotta like try to make that jump. And oh my gosh, I got so scared of this one, and I was totally lost. I did not know where in the world I was going. So as you can tell right here, like all the doors there was like doors completely locked, and I wasn't able to get in them compared to now. But then when I finally figured out where I was supposed to go, then I just made my way to a vent that I didn't even know I was supposed to go through. Sometimes I get lost on this level because you don't exactly know, because the map isn't available to show you the way out sometimes, but I was able to follow it rather easy. So right after I defeated that enemy, I just took the vent that wasn't open. And as you can tell right here, this is a long jump. And sadly, I would have died if it wasn't for that, if I didn't name that right. So, yeah, that was that used to scare me when I was a kid, because I was always afraid I was going to fall like right into the fan, because yeah. But anyway, yeah, I made my way out, and then I discovered that Ramirez was killed by Jason Chance. So Jason Chance actually, we found out that he was actually the guy responsible of getting all of his men killed. And so yeah, I actually figured that out. At first I didn't know what was going on, but then when I read up and everything and all that, then it got me thinking, yeah, he's the one responsible of getting all of the CBDC agents killed. So yeah, that's pretty low if you ask me right there. But anyway, after reaching the elevator and stuff, Gabe just starts climbing up to the streets. And I first had to activate the elevator control, so the door was open and I was ready to go. I had to check around to see if there was any more ammo or something like that, but sadly there wasn't. But yeah. But on the bright side though, I got this level done and I just made my way onto the street. But apart from everything else about this game, it, what you say, it had its moments. It really had its moments. The gameplay was excellent. The sounding of the guns, I mean, they all still sound the same. There's several that are like brand new to the game, but I mean, apart from everything else, it was still good. I mean, the sound effects in this game are pretty incredible. There is some, hard moments, emotional moments, like when it comes to Leon, when it comes to Leon dying and all that, and you have to, like, do everything you can to save her, risk your life to save her, and all that, and, but yeah, that's what Gabe does, because I truly believe Gabe actually cares for Leon. And I really believe that he does. And I think I figured that out, like in Logan's Shadow, for example, but I'm not going to spoil that. But apart from everything else, I really do think he does. But yeah, playing this game, being able to play as Gabe and Leon, that was a great feature that they have did. Now, the third game, it's going to be pretty good too, because you can play as 4 different characters. But the only problem is playing as Lawrence Majari in 1 level or 2 levels, and then playing as Teresa LePon as well, but sadly you play as her in 2 levels also, but But anyway, in the end of the game, you defeat Lost Stevens, and you end up going against Jason Chance and everything, because he's one that actually betrayed you, and so that's everything that's happened in this game. I'm not gonna like totally spoil the boss fight and everything, but I wanted to do this part at least right here for the cutscene and everything. But it is pretty sad about him killing all of his men, and even Ramirez, and even betraying Gabe, for instance, because when you trust somebody, you don't just do that to them. You trust them with your life, especially if you're an agent. But anyway, guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into my video. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 7 of my Retro Classic series. But anyway, if you just tuned into my channel, Red TV Plays, I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. And if you just subscribe to my channel, I wanted to say thank you so much for that. But anyway, guys, help me reach my goal of 200 followers by liking and sharing this video. And I will see you next time for episode 8, which I'll be talking about Syphon Filter 3. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Take it easy.